So we finally got our hands on the Charizard League battle deck, and you like my V-Star marker, by the way. And with it, we were able to play 2 league challenges. So I'm recording this now on the 20th of December. But there was also a league challenge last week. So I'll go over both league challenges. The first league challenge, there were 4 rounds, best of ones only. I played 3 matches because I had 1 bye. And then the challenge I just came back from now, 5 rounds. I played 4 because I had 1 bye. First things first, I'll say this. Now that the league battle deck is out, everyone is playing Charizard. Unsurprisingly, like, I mean, it makes sense. So at the first challenge I went to, I think there were about 8 people. Literally 5-6 people were playing Charizard. And out of them, I think I was the only one playing with a fully upgraded list, as there were like 2 people that were playing. Literally, they were busy sleeving up the deck that they had just bought moments before the challenge started, and there was like 1 or 2 guys that had some bits and pieces, but they didn't have everything. The main part they were missing, of course, Rotom. Rotom, Luminion, Forest Seal Stone, that type of stuff. I was also missing Rotom at that first challenge. I only got my hands on a Rotom in time for the second challenge, but we're gonna get into that in just a second though. First challenge, 2 of the matches I went up against other Charizard players, and I mean, when I have the proper upgraded version, it just stomped them, right? The fact that I could, both times, I could just Luminion for an Ultra Ball, or Ultra Ball for Luminion, and then just guarantee a Charizard, and then just start swinging for them. Because on their side, they could get Charmanders, they could get their Pidgeys out, they could get their Moltres out, but they always had the one piece, but not the other. They would have the rare candy, but not the Charizard. So then I would just like slowly KO Charmanders and Pidgeys. The one other person I played against there though, name was Steven. He was playing Goldengo Togekiss, and boy oh boy, was that a rough one. He went first, so already I'm on the back foot since, you know, I can't evolve on my second turn. He can evolve before me, and my hand was absolutely horrible. I had a Charmander in the active, rare candy Pidgeot. So again, it's always the case. You have everything that you need except the one, or like, this is my issue with stage 2 decks, especially if you're going to try and rare candy them. You need so much. You need to have the basic Pokemon in play the turn before, the rare candy, and then the Pokemon of choice, right? Whereas, let's say, as an example, Raging Bolt Ogerpon. If you have Raging Bolt in hand, you have the Raging Bolt. If you have Ogerpon, you have it. You don't have to worry about anything else. So, knowing that he had gone like pretty decently, he had a good turn, I had to Professor's Research away the rare candy and the Pidgeot just to like pray for something. I was able to get a Buddy Puffin to at least fill up my bench some more, but after that, it was literally just KO after KO after, like draw pass, because every single time he would just KO my Charmanders and stuff like that. I did do an Ultra Ball actually, and I checked my deck. I'm like, okay, let's see. I do still have 1 Charmander out. Let me look for Luminion so that I can go, you know, the classic combo. Luminion, Forest Seal Stone, Arven, rare candy to return KO this Goldengo. Forest Seal Stone was prized, so Luminion was no longer an option, and I thought, okay, well, let me maybe get a Pheasantipity. I can draw more cards. Pheasantipity was also prized. I had to grab Luminion, and then I had to use Precious Trolley. Also, Precious Trolley, in my opinion, way better than Prime Catcher. Way more consistent, especially, we'll get into that in like just a second, for this current league that I just came back from now. This one match against the Goldengo player went absolutely horribly, but that's not the end of the Goldengo story, because fast forward a week later, first pairings, I am up against a Terrapagos player, Terrapagos Dusk Noir. I win the coin flip. I decide to go first, of course. I have what I think is an amazing hand. My hand is Pidgey, 2 Buddy Puffins, 2 Fire Energies, a Briar, and a Palpad. Initially, that sounds really good. You know, I have Pidgey in the active, I double Buddy Puffin, I fill out my bench. Pidgey in the active, 2 Charmanders, 2 Duskulls, and I even retreat back into the other Duskull, so I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going first against Terrapagos. He can't attack on his turn. We're golden, we're set. Until it turns out, oh, he was able to get down Area 0 Underdepths, and then he was able to Jet Energy his Fan Rotom, and then KO the Duskull. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's 1 prize card. It's okay. I'll promote the Pidgey, draw for turn. Nothing. It's like another Buddy Puffin. It was something absolutely useless. And so he just KO'd me again. After that, like his turn comes by, he pops the Duskull, KOs one of my Charmanders. I get a prize card. It was a Super Rod. KOs the other Charmander as well. I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. Maybe I can still recover from this. Draw a card. Nothing. Pops another Dusk Noir. Gives me another prize card. Ooh, maybe that's a mistake. I pick it up. It's another Super Rod. And like the card that I drew was a Night Stretcher. So all I could do is Night Stretcher back the Charmander down just to hope that it sticks. That match was literally, after setting up that brilliant turn 1, it was like 3 turns of just draw pass, and then he would just pop a Duskull, take out one of my Pidgeys or my Charmanders, KO the other one with a Rotom. He didn't even have to, he KO'd me with a Fan Rotom. All he did was Fan Rotom me like 3 times in a row. Assault Landing. I had nothing that game. It was absolutely horrible. Then round 2, I had a bye. Round 3, the Revenge. I play against the Goldengo player from last time. I win the coin flip this time and I had a great start. Pidgey in the active, Rotom on the bench to start things off. I could Precious Trolley, get 2 Charmanders and a Duskull. I was leaving 1 slot open in case I drew Lumineon. I had an Ultra Ball in hand because I did have an Ultra Ball in hand. So my turn is perfect. I set up, I get to draw 3 with instant charge. I pass over to him. Unfortunately, this is where like the karma comes back, right? He does get a decent setup. He gets done his little Togepi, gets done Radiant Granger, gets done 2 Gimme Ghouls. And then he plays Energy Search Pro and I'm like, uh-oh, here comes 8 energy cards. He grabs 2 energy cards out of the entire deck. I'm like, that sounds crazy. Maybe he has the rest in hand though. I don't know. Also, importantly, he played Pokestop. I draw for turn. Looking at my hand, I can only get like 1 Charizard or 1 Pidgeot. I don't have enough for everything, right? I have an Ultra Ball, but that's it. Just an Ultra Ball. So I'm looking through, I'm like, I'm assuming that if I do go for a Charizard, he's just going to KO it instantly because he used his Energy Search Pro. I assume he has all 8 cards in hand. And if I do go into the Charizard without like a Pidgeot to back me up or anything like that, I'm like, I can't do anything. So what I do is I use his Pokestop. First card, Nest Ball. Pretty good. Second card, Ultra Ball. I'm like, ooh. Third card, Night Stretcher. Oh my goodness. It was like, I should put a Pokestop in my deck. Every single card, absolutely brilliant. I could Ultra Ball once for the Pidgeot. I could Ultra Ball twice for the Lumineon. Get everything I need. And then because of Night Stretcher, once I evolve Charizard and I KO his 1 Gimme Ghoul, even if he KOs the Charizard in return, I can Pidgeot for a Rare Candy and then Night Stretcher back the other Charizard that just got knocked out. So that was pretty much a wash because he did KO the Charizard at one point, but there was no coming back for him because I also was able to evolve Duskull into Dusclops. And because Togepi only has 50 HP, I could pop to take out the Togepi and then the Gimme Ghoul as well from an earlier turn. So by the time he took 2 prize cards, I was already down to like 2 prize cards left. So there was no way for him to come back. So again, when you get that chance to set up, the deck does really well, but it's just getting to that setup point, right? Round 4, the most exciting match in my opinion of the day. I was playing against a Miraidon player. I didn't know this though. So I thought I did have a really good hand. I had to start with Pheasantipity in the active. I got to go first as well. I won the coin toss and I decided to go first actually. But we both flip over Pheasantipity and I'm like, interesting. I have Precious Trolley. I have 2 energy in hand. I have Briar, I have Palpad and some other stuff. I think I had a Rare Candy and a Pidgeot as well. So it was some combination of that. So after instant charge, Pheasantipity in the active, I Precious Trolley. Get out the Rotom. Get out the double Charmander. Get out the Pidgey. You know, get out the Dusclops. No, I had Forest Sealstone in hand as well, so I could full bench. I didn't have to worry about a Lumineon or anything like that. And then I was contemplating, do I attach an energy to Pheasantipity and retreat into one of the Charmanders? But I opted no. I will keep Pheasantipity in the active. That was a mistake, but in hindsight, it didn't matter. Because it turns out he was playing Miraidon and he hit those generators. Obviously, because I had Fez in the active, he went for Miraidon and he put out the Raikou and the Pikachu. No Iron Hands because I think he saw Pheasantipity in the active. He didn't have a Gust, so he was like, alright, it's fine. I'll just KO the Pheasantipity instead. His generators hit and then he could Photon Blaster, 220, knock out the Pheasantipity. Which was honestly okay, seeing that it was playing Miraidon, because if it was a single prizer that he had knocked out without MP very much, I need him to take 2 prizes for my Charizard to actually do anything significant, right? Unless I could like boss up his Pheasantipity. After that though, I had a pretty good explosive start on my own. I was able to get a Charizard and a Pidgeot, so things were looking good on my side. You know, I got a return KO on the Miraidon with Charizard, but then at that point, it was just coming down to a race of 2-2-2. Who goes faster, right? And he got the first attack, so I was in the back foot. After I return KO his Miraidon, he puts his Raikou up, bosses in the Pidgeot, and because it's weakness, instantly KOs Pidgeot. Okay, I'm like, okay, cool. He's down to 2 prize cards left. He also, during that turn, evolved into a Magneton, so he was ready with a Raichu, or he could energize a Raichu if needed. He had an Iron Hands on the bench as well with like 2 energy cards attached to it already, so I'm like, okay, that is a danger. He had 2 prize cards left. I had 4 prize cards left. I had a Charizard, a Pheasantipity, Lumineon, Charmeleon, and a Rotom V. A lot of 2 prize liabilities. And I thought, okay, this is very, very dangerous. He doesn't have to KO the Charizard, anything else. Like, there's so many liabilities. Lumineon is weak to electric, so it's a huge liability. I have to pray that he doesn't have a Gust. So what I did was I Nest Balled for a Radiant Charizard, attach one from hand to the Radiant Charizard, counter catcher in the Iron Hands, because I was like, my biggest concern was his one out would either be boss or an alternative out would be, say, an Iron Bundle. So I wanted to make sure that I left a one prizer in the active, so Radiant Charizard, and also a one prizer on the bench, Charmeleon. But I didn't want him to be able to amp you very much on the Charmeleon. So I counter catcher up the Iron Hands, thinking, okay, if I KO Iron Hands, he can't amp the Charmeleon. So I KO his Iron Hands, I go down to 2 prize cards myself, but unfortunately, he has Luminion, he has Boss's Order, he just bosses up, you know, the Pheasantipity or whatever, and gets to the last 2 prizes. It was literally just down to a race. So it was very interesting though, very tight. And we were saying, in hindsight, if I did retreat Pheasantipity out for Charmander on turn 1, it kind of wouldn't have mattered, because it just would have meant that he would have, instead of trying to energize Miraidon, he would have just made sure to tandem unit out the Iron Hands, which was in the deck, and he did end up hitting like double Electric Generator anyway, and he had Forest Seal Stone, so it wouldn't have mattered. Plus also, again, I did need him to take 2 prize cards for my Charizard to get a return KO on anything really. Final match of the day, I was up against Regidrago, except it didn't really feel like Regidrago. I was initially very scared, because the thing is, Ogerpon, if it has 3 energy on it and your Charizard has 2 energy on it, it KOs no matter what because of weakness. So I was very scared about the Regidrago matchup because of the Ogerpons. Turns out though, this guy had no Ogerpons to speak of. He won the coin toss, he went first. I started with a Cleffa in the active. That was it. His turn though was literally just 3 Regidragos, attach an energy, and pass. No Nest Ball for Squawkabilly, no Nest Ball for Ogerpon. He played Hisuian Heavy Ball, nothing in there as well. It was tragic. Meanwhile, my turn, Cleffa in the active, Precious Trolley. Get out the Rotom, get out the Charmanders, get out the Pidgey, get out the Duskull. Grasping Draw for more cards. Oh, sorry, I didn't put Rotom down because again I had Cleffa, so I was like, I don't need to. But yeah, you get the idea. That is where I got to have Duskulls and Thorntons shine, because since he wasn't getting any attacks in, literally every single turn of his was literally just attach energy pass, attach energy pass. I think he had to use his V-Star ability, and even then it was just for like energy. So he wasn't getting any KOs against me, and I didn't want to give him chances to like draw cards and find a Nest Ball. So Duskulls were able to put damage onto the Regidrago and also force him to take prize cards, which made Charizard actually hit and KO his Regidragos. But yeah, that was it was more of a win, but because of, I think, the bad luck on his side. Not getting any draw, not getting any Ogerpons and stuff like that. But my sentiment of the deck is like similar to the God of War deck. I think this is just stage 2s in general, but once you get the Charizard out, once you get the Pidgeot out, ideally with no liabilities like Luminion and Rotom, you are so golden. But the issue is getting that setup, which is why I play Precious Trolley instead of Prime Catcher. Twice today, I started with Precious Trolley, and that just gets you so much. It gets you Charmanders, Pidgeys, Duskull, Rotom. So much, right? It acts as 3 cards, 2 Buddy Buddy Puffins, and a Nest Ball. Later on in the game, again, if you get KO'd, you can Precious Trolley for a Pheasantipity, Radzard as well, maybe more Charmanders if you need. In contrast, imagine starting turn 1, in your opening hand you have a Prime Catcher. Like, what is that going to do? I guess maybe if you have Radzard stuck in the active, that can like switch it out. But what are you going to switch it out to unless you have Pokemon on the bench, which Precious Trolley can get you? But otherwise though, that was the last 2 league challenges of the year. I am very excited for January next year, mainly because Prismatic Evolutions, Badoo comes out, and I want to terrorize people with God of War again, but this time with Badoo. But for now though, let's go to prize packs. Alright, first let's open up the packs from the first league challenge that I went to. Code card, another Emergency Jelly, a Nest Ball, Revavroom, which may be like a new engine come rotation, you never know. It's like a pseudo Radiant Greninja, right? Discard an energy, then drop to 6 cards. This could work in a Curlier deck, you never know. Curlier thing. Boss's Orders. Hello, Squawkabilly. I have one already, but I'll take a play-stamped version. That's very nice. And a Metal Energy. Code card. Ultra Ball. Nest Ball. Oh, are there any other balls we can get? Like Feather Ball, Quick Ball? A Luxray. Oh, this is that nice Luxray that like you can just instantly play it from your hand to the bench if you're behind, right? This plus Reversal Energy, you can instantly, out of nowhere, have like a 180 damage attack. Bravery Charm. Palpad. Both of those really good. And then another Metal Energy. Code card. Speaking of the Luxray, Reversal Energy. Artisan. Oh, we finally got a Forest Seal Stone. I have one already, but hey, now we have another one, just in case. I mean, maybe 2 years of the play, who knows? Another Artisan, an Iono, and a Dark Energy. Let's see, maybe another good EX special would be very nice. I don't even know if there are any. I think Iron Hands is one of them, right? I don't know that that's 4 or 5 though. Let's see, another nest ball. Curlier, hello. Another, okay. Okay, can we stop? I know I said I wanted Forest Seals. I've got one already. I don't need more. Another Iono. And it's a foil as well. It is, oh, Lugia V. It's unfortunately getting rotated, but I mean, hey. It's a nice card though. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's not an EX like I was talking about, but I mean, hey, that's a Lugia. Code card. A Tulip. Another Reversal Energy. A Groudon. Another Iono. And then it's also another foil one. Like, I've gotten 3 foil Ionos. My goodness. A Nest Ball. And then Darkness Energy. As expected. But let's see how Stellar Crown does. But let's have a look and see. There's the code card. Bombardier. Rhyhorn. A Carnivine. Riolu. An Octoberry. A Vikavolt. A Azumarill, not the Surging Sparks one where it's like Fairy or Fairy Psychic and then it can do like 250 damage for 1 energy. A Comfey, not, ooh, new Comfey, not the, what is it called? Rip Lost Box. A Kofu and, or Chaladon. Metal. And a Metal Energy to go with it. Alright, prize packs for the second challenge though. I will say there's no Stellar Crown or like there's no regular pack here because they didn't have any Surging Sparks, so they gave us an option of either get a Stellar Crown pack or take an IOU for, you know, the next time. And I said, if I can get Prismatic Evolutions next time, I will definitely rather take that as opposed to a Stellar Crown. So, that out of the way though, we have 4 Prize Pack Series 5 to go through. And since these are all Prize Pack 5, I'm hoping for a lot of very good playable cards this time around that are going to be legal and still legal heading into next year after rotation. There's the code card. And we have an Atticus. It is now nighttime, so do forgive the quality a little bit here. Atticus, a rescue board, a Bramble. Ooh, what does Bramblegoss do? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Bramblegoss, what do you do? 50 HP for each prize card your opponent is taking. No, so it's like a counter Charizard, except it's weak, so it's not a counter at all. A Future Booster Energy Capsule. A Full Metal Lab. That's a new one. And then an electric, lightning energy. I want to say electric, but oopsie. I'm glad at least that these are all Prize Pack 5 and not like a mishmash. Buddy Poffin, an Iono, Roaring Moon, Baby Roaring Moon, more Pico. Help. Okay, well, I guess I can build a dark deck. Pretty dark patches going though next rotation. A Buddy Poffin, but this time a foil, and then a metal energy, not a steel energy. Keep on doing that upside down. How is it that every single time it's upside down? Another rescue board. Professor Sada's Vitality. Groudon. Big Roaring Moon EX, okay. Does Sada's Vitality, Roaring Moons, more Picos, what else? Like, I guess I need to make Roaring Moon. And a Buddy Poffin again, and then a Grass Energy. Our last prize pack for the year, technically speaking. So, let's hope that this ends on a banger. Again, upside down. There's the card. Ancient Booster. Again, they really want me to play Roaring Moon. Booster Energy Capsule. A Tulip. Professor's Research. A Foil. Lightning Energy. Farigiraf EX. I mean, okay, it's an EX. I think there are some decks that play this. Just because it kind of walls them off. I don't know what though. That's an interesting pull. And then a Metal Energy. Otherwise though, I hope you all had a great end of year yourself. I hope you had a great year in general. And I hope you're all looking forward to the start of next year. Prismatic Evolutions, get hype. Woo, woo, woo. And obviously, more tournaments and stuff from the channel. So until next time, bye-bye.